All right, what's up, guys? I am heading back to Superior to get an update on the Integra, kind of see how things are going and make sure I'm not covering the mic here on my camera. So I want to get kind of an update, see how it's going, and see if we can have a expected time of completion so I can make sure we are ready for it. So we can plan to make sure we have some space so we can put it somewhere in preparation to put it together. So hopefully you liked the way I did the paint unveil. The paint unveil. I don't even eat veal. So I didn't want to tease it anymore. I'm not going to do any more teasing. Whatever happens, I'm just going to tell you as we do it. That way you're kind of in the loop. And that's what I want from our followers. I want them to know what's going on. The teasing thing is kind of, it's okay sometimes, but if I keep you informed all the time, you know what's going on and you can follow along. And again, the whole idea is to share the ideas, share the style, share some of the sources that we're getting these parts from, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration to go out there and take your car apart and change the valve cover bolts, or change the valve cover, or, you know, step back and look at the car and go, you know what, I want to fix the intercooler piping and I want to paint it wrinkle black, you know, that kind of thing. So hopefully that is working. And again, I'm sharing it because I really enjoy sharing some of the information and getting feedback and going to car meets and seeing the different styles that people are putting into their cars. Everybody has their own taste, and I always try and stress this to people. Try not to judge somebody else's build. You got to remember, it's their car, it's their money, it's their vision, it's their car. Just that it's not your style doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's their style. So try and look at this with an open mind. The car community is absolutely amazing, but there is a few bad apples that can spoil it. So just keep that in mind. If you've got a buddy that goes to a car show and rips on people's cars, just kind of remind them, hey, this is someone's car. They put a lot of time into it, a lot of money in it, and this is what motivates them and keeps them going. Just, you know, kind of share the love, share the passion. So we are at Superior right now. I'm going to go in there and see how things are looking. When I left was last Friday. Today's July 23rd. They were just putting the base coat down, which is the very first red coat, and as you saw in the video, that was doing underneath the hood and the back of the fenders, that kind of thing. It's kind of a long sequence and a number of stages to do it right. So let's go ahead and take a look and see where they are at. All right, so this is the back side of the fenders, back side of the hatch. Look how good that's looking. The hood, the doors. See, this is why doing this is so time consuming, because it has to be taken apart and painted individually. That way you don't get a paint line, you don't get a start and stop. That way it blends all the way around. It's closest to the way the factory would do it, but of course this is going to be better quality paint. It's going to have a better finish, of course, because it's going to be wet sanded and buffed, which they call it a cut and buff here. But also the paint is a better quality paint. This is PVG. So the back bumper, spoiler, side skirts, front lip, and then here's the car. They're taping the car up right now. This is probably going to go to paint next. Hey buddy, how are you? Are you tired of looking at this Integra yet?
No, that's the fun part.
Now it's where it starts transforming.
I just like taper.
Yeah.
Clean, I don't have to wear a mask while I'm doing it. Quiet.
You don't need your cool suit?
No.
You're just starting to sweat. Where's your cool suit? Didn't return it, did you?
No, it's in my storage closet.
With a lock on it. Make sure nobody jacks it. So what they got to do now, paint the jams and then paint the engine bay, do they do that together?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do the engine bay, the door jams, inside the trunk, the rear body panel, and then they'll do ready to, the whole car is sanded for the most part. I went and blocked it all yesterday and everything. And then we'll put all the panels back on, do like a final scuff, and then retape it and then do the whole outside.
Yeah.
And then you probably have to do the pieces separate after that or something, like with the bumpers, rockers, spoiler, little front scoop thingy, whatever that is. That goes in the
Yeah, the little middle piece.
All that should have probably take another booth run by itself.
Yeah. So based on your judgment, what do you think? Another couple of weeks? Is this the quick stage or is this the time-consuming stage?
I mean, if we were to get it painted today, possibly tomorrow, put everything on, I mean, I could see like the middle of next week being done, honestly.
Oh, got it. Okay. Moves pretty quick once you get rolling.
Give it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'll have a good day or two with them sanding and buffing the thing.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
These wheels are going to get refinished too. Once it comes here, once it leaves, we're going to pull the tires off and get these redone. They're going to be like a flat gray, like a satin gray, and then some of the parts on the engine bay are going to have the same color. So it's going to be red. The gray is like a flat, almost like a gunmetal, and black. So the color scheme should be pretty good. And it's got red seat belts.
Red factory and stuff on it.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You suddenly see the roof in the camera. You suddenly see the be entertaining for everybody else, not for me. Sweet, this is getting exciting. Remember, I telling you that there is all kinds of cool stuff rolls in and out of here. Look at this. Ferrari. There's no Accord right here. A Porsche Panamera GTS Turbo, I think. Look at this thing. You can rag on Ferraris all you want, but look how beautiful they are. You can pretend to hate them, but you don't. You know you love it. And then look at this over here. This beautiful Corvette. Again, it's one of those cars that you just love. You might not even like to drive it, but it's just so pretty to look at. Look at the grille. Look at that thing. That is fantastic. It's one of those cars that I really respect. I don't want one, but I definitely like looking at them. I said I wasn't going to do an update on the Integra until the paint unveil, but the problem is the paint is taking forever. Naysay, I was going to show you what I'm doing. That's the whole reason of this build. So if you don't like it, now's a good time to tune out because there is no paint unveil. So we'll see you on the next video. So the people that are sticking around want to see all the little tiny goofy things that don't really matter but are kind of important to a build. Some of these Allens, you've seen the other things that I changed to Allen bolts. Well, these, because they're a fine thread, I've had a hard time finding them. Well, they just came in right now, and I wanted all the Allen stuff to match. But what sucks, I showed you this before, these ones that fit this power steering bracket here, because these look ugly. I did Allen here, Allen on the power steering pump. I wanted the other ones to match, so I had to actually order these online. I did actually reach out to a couple of the bolt people. There's a few companies that sell bolts and with the dresser washers and stuff, and nobody wanted to respond to me. I wasn't trying to get stuff for free. I never ask for free stuff. If somebody wants to give me a discount, I try and help promote them, you know, give them something back. I don't expect anybody to do anything for nothing. But nobody wanted to do anything, so I'm just going to use these. So this is the right size there. As I showed you before, these bolts have the knurling on there, so I'm going to have to sand all those off and polish them so it matches that. But I ordered these online, and the hardest ones to find, believe it or not, were the ones for the bell housing. These are the much larger ones. If I remember, they're 10 by 1.5. I'm hoping they are the right thread, because this took 4 weeks to get these. They find one of the threads goes right there. So yeah, these are for the bell housing. Let me show you the transmissions here. I'll show you what they're gonna look like. So the transmission, these are the bolts here that go right here. You see how much better they look? I'll put a washer on there, but it just looks better than the bolt that was in there. You know, that way it's finished off, everything kind of matches. I got the bolt for this too. It's the same one as the power steering, so we'll be changing that too. So these came in. This is cool because, like I say, I had to order them from overseas. They are stainless, you know, they're good bolts, but it's just part of getting, you know, the stuff that's difficult to find. All right, no more teasing. That's the color code. These are all jokes. So this is the feed for the turbo. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the way I like to do it. This is a sandwich adapter, so you can put the filter on it and it's taking it from the same pressure source. This is the factory pressure sensor. This is where your little sensor would go in there. You can buy T-fittings that will tee off and you can run the feed and then the sensor. I don't like doing that because there's a chance that the thread can break, especially if you use aluminum or brass. And then obviously you have an oil pressure issue. You could be blowing oil out of here, hurting the turbo, hurting the motor, filling everything full of oil. The exhaust is right here. You don't want oil getting on this, so it's a concern. It's something you want to really be careful of. So if you do use this fitting, use a steel fitting. Don't use aluminum or brass. This fitting that is in here into our adapter, that is a steel fitting, as well as this line. This is just my tip to you. This will be attached once the crossover pipe goes here. This will be zip tied to it so it doesn't move around. You've seen these in our previous video. These are our breather. Here is our cap for our breather box. It's a freeze plug. That is the part number. If you want to get one to fit this, you get it from your parts store. This was from Advanced Auto Parts, but it's a Dorman part. You can get it pretty much anywhere. See how nice this is looking. This is something different. This is actually from a transmission, but I liked it because it has a square and there's a lot less chance of it rounding off. It is the same thread pattern. It is the same gasket. This is the drain from a B-series transmission. Just to let you know, it does fit. It's kind of a nice option right there. Knock sensor goes here. This is where the breather to the canister went, the oil separator. Don't forget to plug that. If not, it will blow oil vapors out the back of your engine and you'll wonder why your firewall has a nice shade of oil splatter. So that is what those bolts look like. You can't see the ones down there. They're in there too. Looks much better. I haven't got the bracket back from AB yet. I told him it's not a big rush. This all fits. It's not tightened up. It's not finished. We're going to make it so it can take apart and modify that downpipe to get it to fit the car perfect if need be. So this is why there is a nut here. This is just because the Allen bolt is too long. I know someone's going to point that out. Dude, where's the... Yeah, you know that story goes. So that's how it is looking right now. Okay, so if you didn't know the story of my Integra Type R, if you check it out, go to turbomagazine.com or actually just Google, put LHT Integra Type R Turbo Magazine. You'll be able to read the full article. So that car was awesome in so many ways, and in other ways it was a big pain in the rear. The pain in the rear part was it was bright yellow. It made a bunch of noise. It made a bunch of tire spin. Everyone knew the car. It was on the magazine. And being an Integra Type R back in those days, they used to steal them to take all the parts off and put them on other cars. So the amount of times I would drive it, and you would be looking in the rearview mirror and there's a guy in whatever car following you. You make a left turn, you make a right turn, you make a U-turn, the dude's following you. Is he wanting to race me? Is he wanting to follow the car so he can steal it? It made it to a point where it wasn't enjoyable to own anymore. Of course, everybody wanted to try it. They knew it made 600 plus horsepower. They wanted to, you know, chase me with their car and show me how fast their car was. So that was why I got rid of that car. Ultimately, was just for the exposure of it and the, you know, the fear it was going to get stolen. I did have two separate alarms on it. One with a GPS tracker, and it had its own separate battery under the dash. In fact, the whole alarm was installed actually under the dash, and it had a spare battery backup that it ran from, and then the car charged about, and there was an elaborate alarm system on this car. Plus I had custom insurance on it with a, you know, with a value rather than a replacement value. So the insurance was high, the fear of it getting stolen, it got to a point it wasn't enjoyable, so it moved on to something else, which that's how I've actually got to where I am. I haven't kept the car and bought another one. I've always had to get rid of the old car to finance the new one, so it kind of sucks because some of the cars I've had I would really enjoy now, but I won't be where I am now if I didn't get rid of those cars. So it's kind of like, it's a progression. I wish I could be a collector like, you know, some of the people with the money that just keep, this is a car I bought here, then I bought this one, they have a warehouse full of cars. I have to lose the old one to get the new one. So, but anyway, that's the story on the yellow Type R. So I told you about the door panels. These are the door panels. We are going to refinish them. We are going to dye this because it does have a slight purple blue look, and it's from the sun. It's really common. Other thing, this is the UK carpet, which is a right-hand drive carpet. I've since been contacted by a follower on Instagram, and he said, hey, I have a GSR I'm taking apart. Pay the ship and I'll give you the carpet. So I'm looking forward to getting that, and if it's in good shape and I can make it work, I'll just resell this because this carpet is mint. But of course, having the correct carpet would be the preferred way to go. So in the upcoming video, I'm going to show you what we do to refinish these. I've done it a ton in the past. Same with the seats, to bring it back to that nice, fresh, clean black look and make it look nice without painting it. So I'll show you that and show you the details of how we do it. Guys, I hope you followed along. Hope you enjoy the build. I will see you on the next video. I'm not going to chit chat any longer. I can't wait for this big pile of Integra to go on the car because this is driving us nuts. We are tired of tripping over this stuff. So follow along, subscribe, hit the bell, click the like, all that good stuff. We'll see you on the next video. That sounds like Bruce.